All right. Well, I guess I'll wait a minute for people to get in here. Shit, guys, this shit's real. Ah, fuck. I didn't even. Ah, fuck. Okay. Hold on. Excuse me. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. Is it confirmed? Let me show you this video. It's as good as confirmed is going to get for a while. Let me show you this video. Okay, so there's that video. You see those helicopters? I don't know if they zoom in on it, but if you look at the first ones we see. The first helicopters we see right over here. Those are Chinooks. Those are United States military. There are a few of our allies that use them, but none of them will have a recently attacked Venezuela.
Mamá huevo, qué locura. Moscaí. Mira esa mierda, explotaron allá toda esa mierda, porque aquí no está explotando. Mierda,
Okay, I don't know why it wouldn't. Can you guys hear me? I don't know what the fucking goddamn YouTube. I have chat turned on, but it's not showing me you guys' like what you guys are saying. So this shit is not ideal. This shit is not fucking ideal. Damn it. God damn it. I'm gonna try. Let me see here. Maybe I can just look at my own stream and read the chat that way.
Maybe I can just look at my own stream.
Yeah. That's not gonna work, but whatever. Okay. You can hear me now? Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I don't know why the YouTube chat wasn't appearing over here. I guess this whole format thing that they got set up does not work very well. You know, go figure. I've never used the screencast option on YouTube before, but I'm not surprised that it doesn't work very well. Honestly, it's not shocking to me whatsoever. I just wish I could figure out how to get the damn... How do I get the damn chat back? Okay, well, whatever. I guess we'll just check in with chat every few minutes. So, Here's another video we've got of Caracas. That's fucking insane. You can just see the glow basically of all the weapons being used just reflecting off of the clouds. This shit is insane. I knew it was probably going to escalate to this point eventually, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it would be this soon. I thought there was going to be a pretty long and protracted air war and naval blockade and shit like that before they went right to airstrikes on the capital. This is fucking wild, and this looks like more than airstrikes, honestly. This looks like a lot more than just bombings, guys. This looks like a lot more than just airstrikes to me. Let's see. There's a bomb going off. There's a bomb going off. There's a bomb. Who knows what the fuck those are? I mean, I'm not a weapons expert, so I can't tell you whether or not those are projectile weapons. Like, well, obviously they're projectile weapons, but I can't tell you whether or not they're, like artillery or missiles or drones. I'm not a high enough caliber of intellect to tell you that, but oh my god, this is fucking what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? This is what Caracas looks like right now, another country that is being attacked by U.S. imperialism without even a single prior provocation. Venezuela has never killed even a single U.S. citizen. This is all 100% true, by the way. The greatest terrorists in the world are the imperialists, not those who resist. I 100% agree. Now let's Man, that almost looks like an airport. Man, they're fucking this place up. Do we know what kind of sites they're attacking? Does anyone know yet? I'm going to go back over to YouTube real quick. Check my stream out and see if anybody knows. There were reports an airport was attacked. There's reports of boots. There were reports an airport. That's what I would expect. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Fuck. God damn. Good go MAGA. What are you, drug manufacturers? Dude, Venezuela has literally never fucking been like there is no fucking evidence that Venezuela is producing drugs. And even if they were, this is not how you deal with drug producers. I don't even believe in the war on drugs. But even if we did have a war on drugs, we're supposed to have habeas corpus in this country, and we're supposed to recognize the sovereignty of other nations. We're supposed to treat with them. And the Maduro government is not some government that can't be reasoned with. Trump just wants an excuse to take over Venezuelan oil and mineral resources. And this is like, he's inventing justification, and you guys are allowing him to manufacture your consent. A civilian is captured on video driving through Caracas. That one's right. Dude, that one's so close. I know it's probably overpowering me, but that one was right next to the highway. Oh my goodness. Okay. Missiles falling in Caracas, Venezuela. Whoa! Whoa! That was fucking so close. What? Here. Stop. It would just stop it. I also wish Twitter had some setting to let you loop the video instead of just instantly going to the next one. These ones are hitting so close, though. That one hits super fucking close, and then the next two don't hit far fucking away. It looks like they're just hitting the goddamn city center. Somebody in chat said that there's reports of boots on the ground. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? This is another repost of that one. These are United States military helicopters. I didn't get to quite tell you guys earlier, but this is 100% the U.S. I'm not going to wait for the news to say it. This is the United States. That is a Chinook. That is a fucking Chinook. Right down here, these are Chinooks. They are C-47 Chinook helicopters. They're twin rotor helicopters that are most famous for their use in United States military operations. We love to use them. We're pretty much the only country that uses them as much as we do. And there's no other country that uses them that would have any excuse or reason to be attacking Venezuela. So this is 100% the United States as far as I'm concerned. Check back in with the YouTube chat.
There were reports an airport was attacked. There were reports.
Yeah, see, I got to be careful about that. I got to be very careful about that. This is upsetting. It 100% is. Illegal war, yes. And yeah, 100% nice job, MAGA tards. Because like they don't seem to recognize what an escalation looks like. They don't seem to recognize what a bad fucking deal that is for America. And what a big deal it is for America. Trump peace bombs Caracas. The U.S. is a terrorist state. Let's see. This kind of looks like another angle of the same video we've taken a look at a few times. But let's see if it gets anything different. Share the stream, by the way. Get as many people out there watching as possible because people need to get informed about this shit, dude. This is fucking wild. We need to start treating these illegal wars like what they are. We need to start treating these illegal wars like what they are instead of just allowing them to happen, allowing them to pass through our culture unreckoned with, unaccounted for, and completely unaccountably. I'm not saying anything necessarily too different there. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see here.
No, marico, es que no puede ser en serio. Marico, vamos a moverla. Graba ahí, graba ahí. Graba. No, me está jodiendo. Marico, no puedo creer esta mierda. Marico, se está jodiendo. Marico, ya, marico. Ya, vaya mismo. Ah, bueno, puede ser. Marico, mi novia ahí al lado fuerte de uno. Marico, se me está haciendo el puto teléfono. ¿Está grabando? Sí, sí. Marico, me da un infarto en esta mierda. Marico, tengo el corazón a mí.
So you can see there just like multiple different explosions going on in different areas of the city. God damn. Alright, I'm fuck, man. Okay, I'm gonna unplug my phone and let my earbuds charge up for a minute. That way I'm not causing so many issues for you guys. Causing so many audio issues for you guys. Alrighty. Like the stream. Caracas has been bombed. Latin America is already a war zone. This isn't enough for an urgent rallying of forces for absolute repudiation and for Latin American military alliance. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It might be time for something. Because I got news for you. My country isn't going to stop as much as I wish we would. This is just nightmare. I mean, this is ghoulish. It's fucking 12 in the morning. It's fucking 12 in the morning for these people. Everybody's asleep. So imagine this. Imagine you're deep asleep. You're fucking getting ready to go to sleep after a long night of work or partying or whatever you've been up to. And all of a sudden you start hearing bombs going off, explosions going on all around you, and smoke billowing out from buildings that were once standing. This is ghoulish. This has, honestly, the same vibes of those old clips. You guys remember those old clips of Operation Shock and Awe? And The one that happened during Desert Storm 2, or was that Shock and Awe? I don't remember. But whichever one where they were doing the attacks at night, just rolling in with tanks and fucking artillery and destroying shit as they went, it's got those same vibes. Oh my goodness. La Hira, I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, I'm American. Venezuela aftermath of U.S. airstrikes near Caracas. That doesn't look like aftermath. That looks like current math. So this is what we got. Let's see if we've got anything new. It's been a few minutes since we've refreshed the page. Let's see what else we got. Alrighty. Let's see what else we got. Come on. Plenty of new stuff. All right. So we got 12 minutes. 12 minutes ago, we got from Oricron. Come on, load. Yeah. Let's see here. It was reported that the video shows attempts by the Venezuelan armed forces to shoot down American helicopters over Venezuela. Holy shit. Oh my god. We're at war with Venezuela, guys. Oh my god, my country is literally at war with Venezuela. What the fuck is going on? I don't know what attack system this is part of. I don't immediately recognize it. I've seen it used a ton in the Israel conflict, but I'm not familiar with what exactly it might be. But it does, I mean, like, honestly, at first it just kind of looks like falling debris, but I'm assuming it's not that because I've seen it used so many times. Sadly, my familiarity with modern weapons is not that vast, so I have no idea what these are. Does anybody in my chat? I wonder if anybody in my chat does. I would know if YouTube would show me my chat, but they don't, so I have to do this. I think this specific clip. Yes, it's 100% real. No, this is not old footage. This is not old footage. So this is OSINT Defender. I'm not sure who that is. Let's see here. Additional footage. I told you guys. Additional footage showing CH-47G Chinook Special Operations helicopters with the U.S. Army's, god damn it, Twitter, 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment soar alongside other military helicopters flying low over the Venezuelan capital of Caracas. I'm not sure 100% how they can tell all that just from that. I think we can definitely tell Chinooks, but whether or not they are a part of that specific detachment, I think, that's a little bit. Let's see what else is going on here. Okay, so we've seen this footage. We saw this just a minute ago. This is not necessarily too new. So if you're coming into the stream, if you're new, if you're not sure what's going on, Venezuela is currently being airstruck, and there are reports of boots on the ground in Venezuela. As far as we know, it's the United States military, and there's really no good reason for us to believe that it's not the United States military. We've seen CH-47G helicopters roaming around, so the big Chinooks with the two rotors, we've seen those flying around, not necessarily in this specific footage, but in some of the footage we were watching earlier, like this right here. So it basically appears as though my country is currently at war with Iran. Here's a video we haven't seen yet.
Ay, chamo. Mamá, ¿qué pasó? ¿Un avión así? Yo escuché. Ay, mamá, mira otra. Shit. Ay, mamá. Apaga las luces. Ay, carajo. 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 Shit. ¿Para eso y págalo? Mamá, tremenda explosión. Sí, mamá. Para allá, amiga. No, cuidado con el teléfono, No sé qué hace que los nervios.
Honestly, the people seem more in shock than anything, and I can't blame them. Like I said, I cannot imagine waking from a weary slumber to the sound of gunshots and bombs going off and missiles flying overhead and fucking Chinooks flying by. Imagine walking out to the balcony of your apartment or walking through the hallway of your hotel and you look around and holy shit, are we getting bombed? Dude, uh, couldn't there be US citizens in Caracas in theory? Like it huh? Does this I mean this is wholesale illegality. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is illegal. The Congress has the power to authorize war, and this is a war this is war making right now. This is beyond brinksmanship. This is an act of war. Frightening footage from Caracas. Imagine you were having some drinks with your friends. Exactly, this is what I keep saying. Imagine you're having some drinks with friends on a Friday night in a bar, and then this happens.
¡Uy, nos están invadiendo!
Anyway, look at this. Like, I just want you guys. I wish it would let me. Oh, it actually let me pause that. Holy shit. Okay. Anyway, so imagine, but not imagine. Sorry. Fuck. What was the point I was gonna make? Yeah. So I want you to keep in mind throughout all these videos we've watched from Caracas. Look at this country full of completely normal human beings that are living lives so like our own. Like we're so many people on the American right now are trying to justify violence against these people, but what are they doing any differently than you or I? Like, couldn't any of us be found at a bar on a Friday night, relaxing after a long work week and looking forward to the weekend? I mean, that sounds like a pretty American thing to me, honestly. Seems like that might be one of those things that we imported down there, you know? And here they are getting destroyed by the very same culture that has informed so much of what they are. Imagine what a betrayal this represents. You know, like Venezuela is not some country that grew up and into the world without any American influence. They've had profound American influence, like the whole of South America has. And you just see this. I mean, this is an otherwise normal city and an otherwise normal country that's got some problems, but that is being reduced to a third world shithole by active American intervention. Active. Because we can't just let them live. We can't just let them exist. We can't just let them be their own people. Our billionaires need their mineral resources and their oil rights way too bad. Ugh, just ghoulish. Let's see what else. Images from the early morning January 3rd, 2026. Caracas is experiencing moments of tension and fire, a lot of speculation, media manipulation. The government of President Nicolas Maduro has not issued official information. It'll be a very long night. Goddamn right it'll be. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. But I'll keep covering it.
Si es una bomba, las bombas caen donde. But they don't.
Like, I'm not in Venezuela, but I'm going to be here covering it to the best extent that I can. I mean, obviously, I'm not in fucking Venezuela. You can going, woo. What now? What's going on? I looked into the chat to see if there's anything interesting going on, and now I scooped the Times, dude. I love that. You are a drug addict if you don't want this. Venezuela doesn't produce any fucking drugs. Well, I'm sure they don't produce it. Like, they probably produce some, like every country does. Like every country's got some drug production going on in it. But there's just so many things wrong with that statement that I don't even honestly want to ennoble it. You are an enabler of war crimes. You are a person who makes excuses for genocide. You are a person who makes excuses for the deaths of you are the kind of person who makes excuses for the deaths of human beings and who creates fond little euphemisms and funny little sayings and quirky little thoughts and feelings to wipe away the ending of human lives for no reason other than capital. This is not about drugs. This right here is not about drugs. This is about capital. This is about American billionaires securing Venezuelan oil rights and Venezuelan mineral rights. They want it for themselves. They want to make money on this shit. And that's what this is about. It's not about whatever lofty, high-minded thing that Donald Trump has you convinced it's about. Trust me. For some reason, everybody understood that it wasn't about WMDs in Iraq. But for some reason, we believe that it's about drugs when it comes to Venezuela. Make it make sense. Let's look at this video. No, I took it. All right. Yeah, that one's, I think, at the airport getting attacked. At least it looks like it. Oh, got one from 13 minutes ago. Let's see. 13 minutes ago. At least 7 explosions and low-flying aircraft were heard around 2 a.m. local time in multiple locations across Caracas, Venezuela.
Mierda, what the fuck?
Yeah, literally. People are just in shock. They don't know how to feel because they've never seen something like this actually go down. Like, the U.S. has done some limited military engagements with Venezuela in its past. It's not like we've never sent some CIA agents down there or whatever. It's not like we've never fucked with Venezuela before. But to this degree, this is something new. This is something that this is something, well, we haven't enacted upon Venezuela in its history. And Venezuela has never killed a fucking U.S. citizen. So I don't know, like, what is the possible justification for this? They're making drugs. They fact that Colombia produces way more drugs than Venezuela does, and we just pardoned one of Colombia's biggest fucking drug dealers. All right, I'm going to refresh again. And let's see here. Now this... All right, I don't think we need the audio for that. Wow, this shit is wild. Okay, so there's an active fire going on. A wall that's literally just completely fucking blown apart. That was, I think, a bus stop maybe at one point. Kind of hard to tell exactly what it was before the rubble. So, let's see here. There are bombings in Caracas, which appear to be in military zones, possibly where Maduro or Diosdado might be hiding. Let's see here. Alrighty. Come on, video. Load for me. Alrighty. Yeah, so we saw that one already. Let's look at this one. Alrighty. See what's going on in the chat. Are these precision strikes? I mean, I don't know that there is such a thing as a precision drone strike. I mean, I know I hear people talking about it, and I know I hear people like going on about it, but I don't think that it's a real thing. I think that a precision drone strike is just a way for the United States military to euphemize the destructive actions that it takes in other countries. Yeah, I don't think they're precision attacks. I think that this is. I think if they were precision attacks, why would they need so many? You know, what do they know? Like the precise location of 17 different spots where he might be hiding. You know, it's just. Are the U.S. bombing them? Yes. Okay, so if you are. All right, if you are new to the stream, I'm going to have to explain this a bunch, and that totally makes sense, and I totally understand. If you're new to the stream, if you haven't been here for a few minutes, if you're just waking up or whatever, there are bombings in Caracas, and they appear to be directed by the United States. There have been CH-47G Chinook helicopters, multiple, spotted flying across the capital, Venezuela, and there have been a bunch of different bombings and attacks that have rang out over the course of the last hour or so. Over the course of the last 33 minutes, I should say. So it seems like they launched an attack sometime around 2 a.m. local time, and since then things have been proceeding in a predictably horrific fashion. Almost like there's multiple targets and we have satellites. Wild concept. Why do we have any targets in a country we're not at war with, friend? Congress has not declared war with Venezuela. Why do we have any fucking targets in a country that we are not actively at war with? And since when are Americans so willing to put Americans in the line of fire? You know, there are reports of boots on the ground. Since when are you willing to let American soldiers die for some president's whims, for some billionaire's whims? What's up, that girl's graveyard? Venezuela is getting bombed. We are officially at war with Venezuela insofar as we go to war with people in the modern United States. Insofar as we go to war with anyone, we are at war with Venezuela. By the way, consider sending a super chat or a gift if you guys are enjoying the stream. It's a great way to support the channel. This is independent, fucking entirely audience-funded journalism. If you like it, if you appreciate it, if you appreciate being brought up on the news as it comes, as I can find it, that is, you know, send a super chat or a Cash App donation. Either way, that is my mandatory plugging that I have to do anytime I do some streaming, you know. It's kind of like the standard thing you do when you do one of these. Let's see, what else has the chat got to say? What else has the chat got to say? Hold on. Vietnam times 10? What do you mean Vietnam's times 10? Like, do you think it's going to be as bad as Vietnam, like, but 10 times worse? I don't know. I doubt it because there is an element of precision we're able to enact now that we were not able to enact in Vietnam. There's also considerations we would make now that I don't think we made during Vietnam, namely about boots on the ground, but that may not be true if the reports of boots on the ground right now in Venezuela are to be believed. The oil derricks in the Venezuelan forests are about to ignite like Iraq. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to say look out for it, but I would not be surprised. Every single one of you voted for Trump. No, I'm not going to read that. Whatever. I'll editorialize against the Trumpers, all right? Yeah. So let's see here. Latest media. That's what I'm really looking for. What? No results? Huh? Okay. Let's see here. Is this one we've seen already? I feel like it is, yeah. Damn it. I just want to know if there's anything new, man. I want to know if these attacks are continuing. or if this shit is over. Let's see here. This looks like it'd be a new angle. Hard to tell, but this shit does not look good. Once again, if you're new to the stream, the United States is currently bombing the ever-loving fuck, I should say, out of Venezuela. We have Chinook helicopters in their skies. We have multiple military assets currently trying to attack them right now, or successfully attacking them. I don't know why it said that was muted, but I still had to mute it, but whatever. So let's see, we've got multiple explosions going on here. That kind of looks like it's near a government building almost. So do you see that like cluster of explosions down there? I don't know if it'll show you guys where my thing is at, but right down here, that seems to I mean, it looks to me like some kind of government building. It's hard to tell from the graininess of the camera, the way everything looks, but once again, we know that this is the United States mainly because of videos like this. Damn it. Those are our helicopters flying in formations that our military uses for campaigns that our military does in exactly this same fashion. This is the United States illegally bombing a country that we are not at war with over the whims of a president. Just mute. Caracas under fire. The moment has arrived. Well, that sounds fucking grim. Almost makes it sound like he wanted it to happen. Take him a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going to take it like that, okay? Let's check back in with the chat over here. I've got to switch between apps because of how things work, but if you guys will bear with me, that'll be great. Let's see here. Live chat settings. All messages, okay. And I'll try to make the chat to where it's a little bit more useful for you guys. Oh, I don't think it'll actually let me edit any of the chat settings from here. Oh, well. That is what it is, I suppose. Anyway, consider sending a super chat if you want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered. I do read every single one as long as it doesn't violate TOS. You're a trans nobody takes you seriously? Okay, cool. Transphobia is easy, dude. Try being more intelligent if you can. Yeah, I 100% agree. Transphobia is easy. It's accepting trans people that's really hard. Trump 2028, this is the kind of warmongering shit that you're advocating for when you make arguments for Trump 2028. This is the kind of powers being taken from Congress and given to the president type of garbage that you're allowing with your vote when you do stuff like that, when you endorse stuff like this. This is not the way to do it. This is not the way to forge policy. This is not the way forward. Phoebe, are you saying anything about Marines landing on beaches? Oh my God, let me see. Not yet. I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking now. Once again, consider sending a super chat if you want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered. Like the stream. What the fuck? Oh, I think that's a meme. I think that's a meme. That's a meme. So this person says Nicolas Maduro falls. Hold on. I don't know that this is. That might not actually be from Caracas. That might not be from Caracas, actually. That kind of sounded like it might be from the Gaza situation. Let's see. See if this has the air of office. Let's see if this one has the air of authenticity to it. It does sound like they're speaking Spanish or something like that. A Romance language at the very least. Yeah, so it looks like ports, refineries, oil containment, and shipping facilities and stuff like that are all being targeted. Total mayhem in the streets of Caracas. Let's see. After President Trump orders strikes on military Venezuelan sites. Let's see. Alrighty. We're going to back this up. Okay, so this is just crazy. People don't even know what to do. I mean, this is not some city or some country that is altogether too used to being subjected to massive military strikes and big military campaigns coming out in the middle of fucking 2 a.m. in the morning, middle of the night. So, I mean, I'm surprised things are actually as orderly as they are, honestly. Like, we just saw those going by there in a way that seems reasonably orderly and seems like they're proceeding, I mean, slowly, but what's to be expected? Honestly, I'm surprised that even this level of coordination, but there's still, you can tell, just an insane amount of people trying to get out of the city, trying to flee the area. I can't say that I blame them. Let's see. President of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, at this moment, they are bombing Caracas. En este momento, bombardean Caracas, alerta Estado, el mundo han atacado a Venezuela, bombardean con misiles. Debería no ser la ONU de inmediato. I don't know what the heck that all means, but you know what? I read it out for those of you who do speak that language regardless. Let's check back in with the chat. See what's going on over here. Thank you so much. Dude, do you know history? The Marines operate independently under the president and outside Congress. The Marines also love this shit. I don't give a shit what the Marines love or don't love. I give a shit what the fucking United States Constitution has to say about war powers. And the United States Constitution says the war powers are given not to the president, but to the Congress. This is a wartime action. The fact that the Marines have been given a whole bunch of fucking technology to play with does not entitle the president to use them as his own private army. And it does, then you should be silent as a kitten whenever you get a Democrat in there and they want to start invading other countries and doing the same goddamn shit to countries you like. You're going to be whining and pissing your bed so hard whenever it's a Democrat in office and they're doing the same garbage, which I will be opposing, by the way, because I'm not a hypocrite. But you will be fucking whining about it. Whereas right now, you're wallowing in it like a hog because you're a pig. You're a fucking hog that eats up the deaths of children. Thank you for the $5. Let's see what we got here. Nicolas Maduro admitted that he has only spoken once with Donald Trump and that caused consequences, nothing pleasant. But describing the United States as a friendly government, the change in tone is evident among increase in pressure. Oh, shit. So that's interesting. That was from 6 hours ago, so well before these attacks. But more images of, yep. So this is more images of the same fucking helicopters that I was talking about. Come on, thing. Load for me. I mean, that's just nightmarish. Tons of planes, tons of explosions, fucking chaos in the streets. All right, let's see what else there is. I'm sure there's more stuff by now. Let's see here. Oh my god. Holy shit. That, I mean, that's just, what the fuck? That sounds like, I mean, that's boots on the ground right there, because that's not like they're firing from a position. We are at war with Venezuela. We are illegally at war with Venezuela. We are illegally at war with Venezuela. If you're new to the stream, we are illegally at war with Venezuela. We are illegally at war with Venezuela because Donald Trump is using the fucking Marines and other elements as the military as his fucking personal army. And we're allowing him to do this through our fucking silence. Okay, so the Venezuelan government has issued a condemnation of the U.S. bombing Caracas, calling it a violation of the UN Charter. I can't read what that says, but if any of you guys can, I'll pull it up for you guys so that you guys can see it. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to read that. I don't know what to make of this shit, guys. Like, we need to fucking be protesting over this shit. Tomorrow morning, we need to hit the streets. Like, every fucking able-bodied man, woman, and child needs to be fucking protesting against this shit. Even if you're MAGA, this is not what you voted for. Trump was supposed to be an anti-war president, was he not? Since when is he bombing? Like, what is that? Since when? That's not supposed to be part of the deal. At this moment at Caracas Airport, okay. These are the kinds of videos that are captured by a country's citizens when another country is preparing that country's cities for invasion. These are pre-invasion videos we're watching here, guys. Oh my god, CNN just learned it, yeah. Alarms were activated in the capital of Venezuela, Caracas, specifically Miraflores. All right, let's watch. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I know that sounds cynical to say, but not only is that helping the channel, that helps more people get their eyes on this shit, which might just be scrolling shorts right now. But they need to know, if they're American, that their country is bombing fucking Venezuela illegally. Just nightmarish. Let's check back in with the chat. Hold on. Yeah, let's check back in with the chat real quick. He can technically respond if he claims they did some action against. What are you talking about? Go Trump. We need more of this. God, this is not. See, this is what I'm talking about. MAGA is all about populist shit that they think will win them the election, but then when it actually gets down to it, they are monsters. This is why you guys get called Nazis, is because a leftist shows you video of your president engaging in war crimes, and you're like, yeah, yeah, oh. You're like, literally, like, you're this close to orgasming over it. It's so gross and weird, and I hate it. And I'm just disgusted by it. I'm disgusted by your bloodlust. I'm disgusted by your willingness to continue supporting a president that exemplifies such bloodlust. I don't care how fucking poor you are. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how left you are. I don't care how right you are. You should oppose this shit. All presidents do it, which is why I've opposed every fucking president since FDR. With a couple notable exceptions of people I think did enough good to outweigh the bad that they did. There have been a couple of mixed bags, but for the most part, you're right. All presidents since, I don't know, around the time of, since around, who was it? Who was before Johnson? The person before Kennedy, right? It was Johnson before Kennedy, right? No, who was the fucker before Kennedy? God damn it. Will someone help me here? Who was the dude before Kennedy? Will someone fucking remind me? Chat takes too long to catch up, so it's not, you know what I mean? Nixon. Okay, thank you. Yes, Nixon. Okay, I was getting the order. I was getting it out of order, and I didn't want to keep getting it out of order. But I was pretty sure it was Nixon, Kennedy, Johnson, Carter, Reagan. But I didn't want to get it wrong. Okay, so I think pretty much every president since Nixon has been fucked up. I think Nixon was a mixed bag, but more fucked up than not. I think Kennedy, we didn't really get a chance to see what he was going to be honest with you. I think Johnson was, obviously not like a super competent politician. Well, I mean, he was an incredibly competent politician in some ways, but in terms of his like long-term likability and his like ability to leave the country in an economic state that left everybody feeling prosperous, he wasn't very successful in that way. Which is one of the reasons why, people attribute Carter's administration to being so weak and the Reagan administration being able to rule for 8 years and then pass it on to another Republican. But putting all that aside, you're right. All presidents do it. It's fucked up when all presidents do it. I don't care if every fucking president since the beginning of the United States had done it. It's fucked up. So much for no new wars. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Joe Ruth. So much for no new wars, huh? So much for no new wars. I hope they dropped leaflets warning the women and children. I guarantee you they didn't. If they did, we wouldn't be finding out about this. Trust me, if they did, someone would be taking pictures of that and I'd be seeing it over here on Twitter. I'd be seeing it somewhere. So, local media channel in Caracas are reporting that airstrikes have targeted the home of Venezuela's Minister of Defense, Vladimir Padrino Lopez. Maybe so. Yeah, I mean, like, if local media channel in Caracas is saying it, I mean, probably. They're not providing the, Okay, this first video, maybe, but I will be honest with you, if that is what an army is going to try and deploy against the aggression of the United States, the Venezuelan people are fucked. That is a World War II era vehicle. That I'm not kidding. That thing has been around since World War II. I wish I was joking. That is a World War II vehicle. We could blow that thing up with one drone. I think this is the same video we've seen a couple of times of people driving near the airport. Let's see if we've got any new videos here. By the way, I hate to shill during a time like this, but it is important because you're not just helping the channel and helping the stream, you're also helping get more people's eyes on this shit. And if you're an American, you need to be aware of what's going on in your country, and more importantly, what's going on outside your country at the behest of it. And this is the biggest fucking thing in the news right now. So please hit that like button. Please consider sending a super chat if you like the channel, if you like the coverage, or if you just want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered. I am checking up on chat pretty regularly. All of them that I see. How did I do that just then? How did I do that? I don't know. That's weird. Anyway. Hey, buddy. Nixon was after Kennedy. You're thinking about Eisenhower. Love how you were so confident about being right, though. Well, thank you for the $5 and the correction. I appreciate it. Well, whichever one it was, shit got bad when Vietnam started happening, is basically my point. Like, I've never fucking portrayed myself as some kind of political professor, myself as some kind of history professor. I just kind of, I do my best and hope that I get it right. You can like it, you can hate it, but that's how it is. Trump has been telling them over and over to stop. Telling them to stop what? To stop making drugs? They're not. To stop shipping drugs? They ain't. The entire pretext for this conflict is false. The entire pretext for this conflict is artificial and generated. The liberal mind is so narrow-minded. I'm not a liberal. Thanks, but I'm not a liberal. Let's check out what else is going on over here. Look at these explosions there in the center of Caracas. Yeah, we've seen this one a bunch. A lot of these are just reposts, honestly, at this point. Reports U.S. ground forces and Air Force assets. Okay, hold on. This is big. Breaking. Reuters reports U.S. Ground forces and Air Force assets are now active and in and around Caracas, Venezuela, with multiple explosions reported across the capital as operations continue. No new wars, they said, 3 days into the year, and we're already lighting the fuse. Yeah, so U.S. ground forces and Air Force assets. Air Force, that is not part of the fucking Marines. So to the person earlier who said, basically, well, Trump can do whatever he wants, invade whatever country he pleases because he's got the Marines. This isn't just the Marines. This is the Air Force. This is an act of war. This requires congressional approval, and Trump didn't seek it because he knew he wouldn't get it. Because he said that there were going to be no more new wars. No more new wars. No more new wars, period. That was a campaign promise of his, and is letting that just drift off into the distance because they didn't care about any of that shit. They just wanted to see people as miserable as they are. Once again, if you're new to the stream, the United States is currently bombing Venezuela, bombing the fuck out of their capital, to be specific. Caracas is currently under attack. We know it's the United States because we've seen multiple CH-47G Chinook helicopters flying around the capital. There's also nobody else who has any beef with Venezuela besides us, and especially nobody else would be using that particular kind of helicopter. So it's 100% us. If it's somebody else, it would be the most shocking turn of events. This is the United States destroying the capital of Venezuela, or attempting to destroy major targets within the capital of Venezuela, despite there being no congressional authorization of war. This is fucked up. This is what the normalization of military action enacted by presidential order has enabled. And this is what the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower warned us about has created. Look at the blood it rains down. Look at the shrapnel from whence it blows. Somebody on here said the peace president, everybody. I couldn't agree with them more. Let's see here. Let me check over here on checking back up on chat. I have to switch between the two because the way it's supposed to be working. Thank you for the $2. Iran, Am I a joke to you? I know. Yeah. I mean, we've been fucking on Iran too, but it's a little more normal for us to fuck with Iran, you know? Like, that's why people didn't jump on this the same. That's why people didn't jump on the Iran strikes the same reason or at the same speed or whatever you want to say that they're jumping on this shit. The reason they're jumping on this shit so hard is because it's completely unexpected. We've been engaging in like a limited military campaign against some of their assets. We have not been invading their country. We've not been bombing them, etc., fucking, etc., etc., etc. That is why it is different. That is why it's garnering people's attention. What part is the U.S. bombing? Caracas. They're combating drug trafficking. There's no drug trafficking going. Dude, are you just a robot? Are you literally just a State Department paid robot? Because there is no actually coming out of fucking Venezuela. Bush Jr. Oh, you can just bomb and invade first? I know, right? Bush Jr. thought you had to come up with all this pretext. No. Definitely drug trafficking. Yeah, it has to be anything. Has to be anything besides securing those oil and mineral rights. You guys are the same kind of people who would have believed Bush Jr. when he told you that there were WMDs in Iraq. It's about oil, 100%. It's about fucking oil. If you'd like to, support the channel, if you'd like to support this kind of like independent fucking stonery journalism, consider sending a super chat or a Cash App donation. You can find that in my channel description. Otherwise, like the stream and spread it out there, share it around, and get more eyes on this shit because people need to know that the United States is currently bombing the ever-loving fuck out of Caracas. Do that. Why did it do that? Anyway. Oh my god, why is it doing that? So, the U.S. are bombing Caracas. This is state terrorism. Where's the condemnation from EU member states? Yeah, where indeed? I mean, they probably just don't know that it's happened yet. So this is an AH-64 firing rockets. Okay, so what I thought was them firing from a position, you know what? That makes sense too. And AH-64 firing rockets in Caracas also tracks. I thought they might have been firing from a position or something like that in this video, but this one says US AH-64, and I'm assuming they're probably able to identify it a little better than I am. This is just, I mean, I thought it was going to escalate to this point eventually, but I'm not gonna lie, I did not think it was going to be this quickly, and I didn't think it was going to be this forceful either. Because it just doesn't seem like this is the way we operate with really anybody but the Middle East. Like the Middle East we're willing to engage in this kind of thing with. But even then we've become kind of reticent. Like with Iran, we didn't put any boots on the ground and we did like 3 counterstrikes to theirs. You know, we did like 3 counter airstrikes to their fucking 2 or 3 missile strikes into Israel. And then when we were done, this is multiple fucking strikes all across the capital city. It's boots on the fucking ground. It's Air Force assets. And this is just all the shit we've been able to confirm here on Twitter from reliable sources. Who the fuck knows what else is going on out there in the world? I haven't read the fucking news articles yet. Anyway, the Chinese special envoy was in Venezuela yesterday, reaffirming strategic ties between Beijing and Caracas. Today, explosions are heard. Dude, these had to be connected in some way. I don't buy it. There's no way that these two things are connected at all. The United States is getting fucking antsy. We want a hold on those resources. We want a strict hold on those resources. I'm trying to see if we've got anything recent. Damn. We need latest. We need latest. We need latest. We need latest. Okay, here we go. Okay, what is this? I'm not going to do that. That sounds like a good way to not... Just doesn't sound like a good idea. Left, United States Army Apache attack helicopters entering Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. Right is those U.S. Army Apache attack helicopters destroying key military installation Fort Tiuna in Caracas, Venezuela. The war was over before it even started. Donald Trump is undefeated. Oh my God. People are literally fucking... People are cheering about this shit. People are cheering about this shit. So any idea that this is not the United States is officially with by this fucking confirmation right here. MAGA is celebrating it. They're taking credit for it. Trump is 100% going to take credit for it. This is the fucking United States, y'all. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is us. And then they said the next one was... so this is the video we've seen a couple of times already of them firing the rockets and firing out of the machine guns. So we've seen that stuff before. We've seen that stuff already. So the Minister of Defense is not picking up his phone after the strike on his home. Hearts of mine go out to the simple people of Caracas. Oh my God. Nightmarish. Killed in his home while he slept, dude. The remains of Hugo Chavez are being bombed by the United States at the Cuartel de la Montana. What the fuck? Why? He's a dead dude. What the fuck? Oh, I hate this kind of shit. Dude, the United States, we would never stop freaking out and fucking flipping out if some country invaded our country and started blowing up our leaders' remains. But we are so willing to do it to another country with whom we've got bellicose relations. It's just sick. It's just gross. I don't care what you think of fucking Maduro or fucking Chavez or any of the lot. It's just sick. Okay, we've seen this one already. Hold on 1 second. Alrighty, let's see. I think we already saw that video. Serious is Donald Trump bombing the... Yeah, of course he is. Duh. We can see it. What do you mean? We can see it. I don't know if we're going to see anything else, honestly, tonight about these airstrikes. I don't know that we're going to find anything else about them. Well, I mean, we might. I'm not saying we're not going to, but thank you for the gift, Fort Sumter Media Team. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gifts. Type in Venezuela instead of just find the capital. Type in Venezuela instead of just the capital. Oh, okay. All right. Let me do that. Type in Venezuela. Venezuela. Alrighty. So now we're going to look at Venezuela. Once again, consider sending super chat if you want to make sure your comments or questions get read or answered. I will read every single one as long as it doesn't violate TOS. Let's see here. Let's go to media. Let's go to media, and then let's do I can't do just whatever's most recent. What the fuck? I guess I have to do latest? That sucks. Okay. Well, let me look back at the chat. Do you guys think I should do top or latest? You guys can help me figure out what I should look at. 3 days into 2026 is going to be a long year. I know, dude. I'll fund your move to Palestine if you do it 100%. You are the 5th person to offer this, and no, you will not. I'll do it 100%. I'll do it right now. That's how much I'm sure you won't. I'll do it right now. I know for a fact you won't. This is a stupid offer, and you are the 5th person to make it. So, yeah. If you're the one person that has enough money to do it, because I don't believe you are. Like the ability to send $3 or $4 or super chats does not a millionaire one make. And in order to convince the Israeli government to let you into Palestine, and then to fund all of the different processes that would be needed to get my ass into Palestine, because mind you, like, you can't just like send me over there to live as a homeless person. That's not fair. You've at least got to put me on an even economic playing field. And I think if you put me on an even economic playing field and let me choose what area of Palestine I go to, I guarantee you I can find an area of Palestine that I can live in pretty comfortably. Of course, I also have a child. You're going to have to accommodate his travel and care costs as well. And, I live in an intergenerational household. So my parents are getting up in their years. I would want to bring them with me as well so that I can take care of them as they get older and older. I would feel remiss not to bring them along. So if you can furnish care for 4 human beings in their move to Palestine and convince the Israeli government to let us in, we're all for it. Borders don't exist, though. Borders shouldn't exist, but borders definitely exist. If you don't think borders exist, walk up to one and try to cross it without asking anybody. So what happened? So what has happened is that the United States is bombing the fuck out of Venezuela and Caracas more broadly. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if I should be looking at latest or top when it comes to. I'm looking on Twitter right now. That's what the app that I've got screen shared. I'm looking at Twitter right now, trying to find more information about the airstrikes and about the possible. We've said that apparently Reuters has. We've read that Reuters has said that there was Air Force assets and possible boots on the ground involved here. So we're trying to figure that out right now. That's basically what's happened. If you're new to the stream, if you haven't been watching or whatever, the United States is engaging in an illegal terror campaign and an illegal war against Venezuela. Not, not that unsurprising, but I didn't think it was going to escalate quite this quickly. And I don't know that I thought it was going to escalate in this grand a fashion either. Latest, that way you can get the most relevant information. Okay, we'll try latest for a second. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we can get. So, come on, thing. My phone is taking a second to load. You guys are just going to have to be patient with me. So this is a site, I believe. This is like a link to another site. Yeah, that's just a link to another site. This is just a... Let's see. State of emergency in Venezuela. This looks like a new video. This is definitely new. No, this is the same goddamn video we watched earlier. Videos keep getting reposted. No, I don't blame people. I feel like there's got to be more out there. Sure, you guys hit that like button, by the way. You're not just helping out the channel, you're also helping to make sure that people get their eyes on this shit. People need to know that the American military is currently engaged in an illegal fucking terror campaign against Maduro's government and Venezuela as a whole and our people. People need to know this shit. People need to be informed. What the fuck? Huh? Fox News pundit says the unconfirmed U.S. invasion of Venezuela is for national security against... This is just Donald Trump being a neoconservative. This is literally just Donald Trump being a neoconservative, guys. I'm sorry. There's no other way to look at it. This is a continuation of the fucking neoconservative attitude that said we are the fucking world police and we have this sphere of influence and we're not going to lose any influence in it, and we consider certain countries to be our adversaries because we are involved in a great battle over good and evil on the world stage. That is a myth. It's not real. It's not something that actually exists unless people fucking keep it up, unless people work to make sure that it's true. It's some fucking artificially inserted into our society in the narrative framing of our lives, but it's not real. It's not actual. Like, we do not have to be invading Venezuela, even if they were a fucking hotbed in Iran and all this other bullshit, which they are not, by the way. There's absolutely no evidence for this. This rings of the exact same punditry that was engaged in for the sake of Iran, engaged in for the sake of Iraq, engaged in for the sake of invading Afghanistan. In that case, for 20 fucking years. This is the exact same kind of punditry. Oh, we already read. Nah, we can't look at that. That's just a website. I don't think it'll let us. Must be, yeah, this is a good point too. Must be oil because no one goes to war over drugs. That's a good point. Like, you might go to war, like a culture war or whatever, but or not culture war, but you might do like a societal war on drugs or whatever. But like an actual war, CIA strikes. That's one thing. I don't know if you guys can even see this, so I'm just going to go back to Twitter. Venezuela hit by explosions. It says we're active aggression by United States. Of course it was. Of fucking course it was. Is there fusion? Is there really any doubt? Who else could it be? Who else would it be? Let's see what else we got. We just updated it. U.S. Air Force bombs Higuerote Airport and La Gaita Airport in Venezuela, targeting Maduro-linked sites. OAS and UN monitor crisis closely. Yeah, so it's being considered a crisis. Not surprising at all. It fucking is a crisis. Okay. Let's see here. More pictures of the destruction and devastation in Venezuela. Okay, so here's an English translation of the Venezuelan communique. Oh my God, thank you, Grok. The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela rejects and denounces the grave U.S. military aggression on Caracas and states of Miranda, Aragua, and La Gaia, violating the UN Charter's principles of sovereignty and non-use of force. This threatens regional peace and aims to seize our oil and minerals. Exactly. It's all about oils and mineral rights. We stand firm after 200 plus years of independence, calling citizens to the streets for defense. President Maduro declares a state of external commotion, deploys national defense, and reserves the right to self-defense under UN Article 51. We seek global solidarity. Holy shit, this is fucking real. We are at war with Venezuela, and I don't think anybody's taking it seriously enough yet, guys. I don't think a motherfucker out there is taking it seriously enough yet, guys. I don't think anybody is taking it as seriously as it deserves. Thank you guys for sending the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for sending those. I'm not getting active updates and notifications about the super chats and the gifts and stuff like that, but I am looking at the chat right now. If you want to send a super chat, please consider doing so. It does help the channel immensely. This is real fucking independent journalism that's audience funded. You guys are the reason I'm able to do this, the reason I have so much time to do this, and the reason I have so much dedication for this. So thank you for your support. Lamau, good luck. Yeah, 100%. It's about oil. Of course, it's about oil. It's always about oil, no matter fucking what. 100%. I fucking agree. I couldn't agree more. Mercenaries 2 called this one. I mean, like, I don't know the reference, but a lot of people have been predicting a massive upswell in conflict in Venezuela on account of them having the biggest untapped oil fields, right? They've got the biggest untapped oil reserves on the planet, and they've got tons of minerals. They've got gold, they've got diamonds, they've got silver, they've got all kinds of good shit. They've got cobalt, for Christ's sakes. Gotta pay for the damages of dude. There's no fucking dude. This fucking how is it that this cartel has been so damaging on American lives, and it's been such a horrible force in America and everything else. It's been such a horrible force in the global playing field, or whatever you want to say. But I'm just now hearing about it. If Trim Daragos or whatever was the biggest fucking deal in the world, then why am I just now hearing about it? That doesn't make any sense to me. This is all a smokescreen to cover for Donald Trump and his billionaire friends' desire to take over Venezuelan mineral rights and Venezuelan oil rights. Why are they so poor? Mostly due to United States sanctions and due to lack of political accountability and transparency in their government. I don't think Venezuela's a perfect place. I don't think that entitles America to go in there and make it worse. I don't think that the way we make it a better place is by bombing the fuck out of them. I think if we really wanted to make it a better place, we should be insisting to Maduro. We should be threatening with this kind of stuff, but we should be saying, hey, all we want to do is get in there, and we're not going to influence it in a certain way. We're not going to make it go any specific way. You know, we're just going to all we're going to do, literally all we're going to do is make sure that the elections go smoothly. Not like, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, make sure that the elections are monitored, that they're not corrupt, that they're free and fair elections. Like, literally, there are about 1 million fucking diplomatic pathways that we could have taken to resolving this conflict that did not involve airstrikes, that did not involve boots on the ground, that didn't involve this kind of warfare. Life is not smooth. Yeah, well, we're like, the whole point of a society is to try and make life smoother. Tomorrow morning is going to be lit. Tomorrow is going to be something indeed. Tomorrow morning is going to be something indeed. Venezuela, if they do get that global solidarity that they're asking for, that I was just telling you guys about, and that you can see here on the screen, if they do get that global solidarity they're hoping so much for, I hope that does not mean that my fucking country is getting bombed next, because, you know, I can't say that we wouldn't deserve it on some level. I mean, like, I'm not saying we would. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I hope it does not. I hope more than anything that we don't get our just desserts for this kind of horrible bullshit that we fucking pull on the world stage. But this is why so many generations of people in so many different places have come away with a bad opinion of the United States, such a negative opinion of our fucking country and our fucking foreign policy, because we do shit like this. We bomb whole cities at fucking 2 a.m. We wake everybody in a city up and subject them to the fucking worst tortures of an awful war out of nowhere with no warning. This is us. This is the United States. And the United States does not have a good record on installing leadership in other countries. It's 100% right, 100% true, 100% correct. Watch World War II and you'll get a perspective why people go to war. This is not sufficient reason. This is not like World War II. This is a damned far sight from World War II, friend. Oh, fuck, man. Consider sending a super chat if you want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered. We're going to be continuing our coverage in just a second. I just gotta, well, you know, smoke some tobacco, as they say. This is literally over oil, just like every war since Bush. Yep. But people are still trying to get me to believe that it's about drugs. People are still trying to get me to believe that it's about drug manufacturing, even though we know for a fact that Venezuela is not the primary source of fucking. We just know that. It's for, like, it's as good as fact as anything we know. Venezuela is not a primary exporter of any kind of fucking drug. You know what they're a primary exporter of? Oil and minerals. And what gets me is that I see a lot of Trump people supporting this shit, and MAGA's supposed to be all against this shit. You guys are supposed to hate this garbage. This is fucking war. This is war making. This is warmonger. This is beyond warmongering. This is beyond brinksmanship. This is just an active war, an active, highly illegal war. USA just bombed Caracas. That's what we're covering right now. That's literally what we're covering right now. Yeah, if you're new to the stream, if you haven't been watching, if you're just waking up right now, the United States is currently in the process of bombing Caracas. There may or may not be boots on the ground. I've been looking for that information, but I haven't been able to find it. I haven't been able to confirm it just yet. We do have some limited reports from Reuters that suggest that Air Force assets are being currently in use. We know that the Marines are being used. So there's a lot of fucking... there's a lot of assets in the air and possibly on the ground in Venezuela engaged in an attack on the capital of Caracas, and it has been going on since around 2 in the morning their time, so around an hour and a half now, give or take. No, yeah, we don't need confirmation. This is as good as confirmation gets. Like, there is, I don't, who the fuck else would be attacking Venezuela? Who the fuck else? Do we know for a fact it's U.S.? How do we know for a fact it's U.S.? Because we have seen multiple videos of CH-47G Chinook helicopters flying around Caracas. We also have seen multiple videos that are clearly in Venezuela, that you can prove are in Venezuela, showing attacks from weapon systems that people are familiar with from experience or whatever, that are exclusively American weapon systems that we only sell to our allies, and none of our allies has any beef with Venezuela right now. In fact, all of them pretty much are trying to stay as far away from this shit as they can. Like, we are the only country in the world that's trying to bomb Venezuela right now. Literally, we are the only country on the planet that has beef with them. You don't need proof to believe? I have the proof. We have the proof. We've seen the proof. It's been in the videos. What do you mean? We have our military's helicopters flying in formations our military uses in like engaging in a campaign that is very fucking familiar to anyone who's been an American watching news media for a long time. Sorry, it's us. Who else has the ability to even do that? Good point. All right, give me just a second, guys. I gotta use the bathroom. You guys entertain yourselves for 1 second. I will be right back. Send a super chat while I'm gone. Alrighty. Let's see what nightmares await us. So, someone said this will be worse than Vietnam. Other people are saying this is not going to be worse than Vietnam. This is not going to be as bad as Vietnam. The reason for that is because modern technology allows us to outsource a lot of the things that you used to have to rely on individual troops for. We've been able to outsource a lot of that to technology, and drone technology means that we don't have to do most of that kind of thing anymore. Now, for certain things, we do still have to have some troop deployment and shit like this, like in big shock and awe campaigns like what we're engaging in right now. You kind of do need that force of actual troops to be engaging in the fucking fighting, and there to pilot the aircraft and everything else. But if we actually go continue launching like a full-scale war on Venezuela, we're going to be able to do most of it through drones and unmanned vehicles and missiles and things like that. A lot of it that is manned will be done with aircraft. Most of this is what we call a shock and awe campaign. Venezuela is a pretty terrible place to live right now. A regime change is definitely supported by the people. I would not agree there. That doesn't seem to be the reaction from Venezuelans that I'm seeing. That doesn't seem to be the reaction that I'm seeing. I love how the non-veterans in America suddenly know how war works while shitting on every public service at the same time. Huh? What do you know about me, Professor? Fuck you. 2 reminders. Remember to like the stream and no all caps, please. Yeah, 100%. Like the stream and send a super chat. It's the best way to support this. As fucking stonery as it is, it's independent news media where you're actually having someone relay this shit in a way that's funny, interesting, and informative. In a way that's also able to be corrected, which is unique in itself. The people are not supporting us blowing their country up, dude. Argue in faith or don't argue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that the fucking people of Venezuela are supporting us blowing up their country. Something tells me they don't want that to happen. Maybe I'm wrong, but something tells me they would not like that to happen. Something tells me they would rather it not. Y'all are completely forgetting the countries around Venezuela are allied with them. Never underestimate them. Russia was supposed to sweep Ukraine, but look now. Yeah. That's a good point. But I will also say Russia was also supposed to get defeated within the first year of the Ukrainian conflict, and they didn't manage to do that either. So, I think the Russia-Ukraine conflict is a bit of a different situation. I think that there's some different tactical discussions. I think maybe this tactic might be warranted if you want to talk about trying to achieve success in the Ukrainian-Russia conflict. I think you might need to show Russia hey, we're willing to fight the long, slow battle. We'll just fucking do it. You guys, because the difference there is that Russia has actually been fucking attacking other country. There's actual war going on that we can respond to. It's not like Venezuela's fucking launching rockets at us is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's not like Venezuela's attacking the United States or attacking its neighbors or attacking anybody. We listened to a Fox News pundit a few minutes ago talking about how, fucking there's supposedly some hotbed of terrorism from Hezbollah and Iran and all these other fucking places, Russia and China. Apparently every fucking country that is a villain of ours has a little HQ somewhere in Venezuela. Isn't that convenient? Doesn't that sound awfully neoconservative to you? Because that sounds a whole lot like George Bush Jr. and Colin Powell telling us that there's a massive hotbed of terrorism in Afghanistan and we really need to go after Afghanistan and Iraq so that we can fucking get this complete, this just hotbed of terror and evil plots and horrible machines that can kill us all so we can get it under control. Yep, it's weapons of mass destruction all over again. It's about enriching the military-industrial complex. Yeah, 100%. We have global communists on the left and national socialists on the right, and neither understand individual liberty or peace. Romp all forever. Well, I don't agree with you completely, but I think at least we can both agree that national socialists are a problem. I don't know that a global communist is a problem. I mean, I think that there's a way that you could enact global communism in which libertarians even would be happy, but they never shut up for long enough for me to explain how that world would work to them. They always just get so worried. They're so afraid that I'm going to come to them personally and wake them up at 8 in the morning and be like, hey, you have to go work the rice paddies with me now. And that's not the kind of society I want to build, brother. I'm sorry. It's just not. Isn't Venezuela close to China? No. Huh? No? What? Did I just read that in my chat? No. Venezuela is nowhere near China. It's on the complete other side of the globe, actually. It's actually closer to Florida than it is China. Politically? Yeah. Well, yeah, they've got they're allied with Russia and China. but that doesn't mean that they actually have like Russia can't afford right now to have a bunch of assets in other countries, okay? And China can, but I don't think they do in this instance. I think if they did, they would be responding. I think if China had military assets in Venezuela, then part of what we'd be seeing on Twitter right now would be the results of some kind of conflict between Chinese equipment and American equipment. I think the fact that we're not seeing that shows that if China has a presence in Venezuela, it's so small as to be meaningless. So unequipped to be meaningless. So as to be meaningless, I should say. But yeah, Venezuela is next to Brazil. China's in Asia, Venezuela's in South America. They're all the way across from the ocean from each other. They might have been talking about political closeness, though. They might not necessarily have been talking about closeness in, the sense that we're talking about, like geographical closeness. We're refreshing once again. We're going to check out what's latest. America is going to war with Venezuela. Why did Biden do this? Yeah, that's that's going to be the take from the right, I'm sure. Let's see what we got here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Okay. U.S. airstrikes. We already watched that one. Okay, let's watch. Let's see here. Let's see. Awful music. So this is a bunch of different angles. So this is a video I haven't seen yet. Okay. So this is definitely one I haven't seen yet. But we're seeing some different angles of some shit. Yeah, man, that is just wild. You can see the glow of the city coming up through the sky, just illuminating all the clouds of smoke and residue from the guns. You can see those helicopters flying overhead. Congestion on the streets as predicted. I mean, people are probably trying to flee. I mean, I'm sure there's been some kind of evacuation order issued for Caracas. Let's see if we look at top. Let's see what will we find for top. Let's see here. We're gonna refresh and then we're gonna look. This is an hour ago, 35 minutes ago. Let's see what CNN has to say. Well, yeah. That's not hard to fucking predict. Breaking. Maduro is alive and well. Condemns U.S. terrorist attack on Venezuela. Holy shit. Actually, he looks okay. I was expecting him to look like shit. I was expecting him to look war-torn, but he actually looks all right. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Come on, YouTube. Oh my god, man. My fucking data connection is not that good, so it's just taking forever. Okay, well, unfortunately I don't, that's been uploaded to enough of X's servers for it to be getting to me nice and quick. So I think that was just generally a message from a veteran basically saying, hey, people are not going to respond to this war the same way they have to a bunch of America's other shit. So maybe stop doing this kind of shit, like maybe just start like acting right and not participating in war crimes. That tracks. All right, let's see what else is latest. Let's see what's going on here on the. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share the stream. We need their eyes on this. If you're an American, you need to know that your country is engaging in an illegal with fucking Venezuela. So here's an angle we haven't seen yet. Let's look at this, if it'll ever load. Yeah, we've seen this particular piece. We've seen this particular piece of damage, but we have not seen this particular angle on it, I don't believe. Ugh, just awful. I don't even know what kind of weapon that is, but it's not... I mean, it literally looks like it's just raining hellfire down on, as far as we know, civilian population. I mean, who the fuck knows, ultimately? 95% of Venezuelans are celebrating, hoping for freedom after 27 years. I don't believe that this person is real. This is a robot. This is a fucking robot. This is not a real account. I guarantee you this is not a real account. This is a fake account. Juan Pedro joined January 2015. Maybe, but I don't believe it. This is a robot. They're fucking watching Paul Joseph Watson, even if they are a real person. I don't believe it, dude. Like, there's no way anybody is celebrating their fucking country getting bombed. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense. Let's see here. Let's see if we got anything else. There's got to be something else new here. Venezuela's Miranda State, large explosions occurs near, Higuerote Airport, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Venezuela's long-standing legal rulings against them. They're holding Americans. What? Since when? It's news to me. U.S. forces, fleets moving towards Venezuela. Do what now? I can't tell if this is AI or real, so I'm just going to move on from it. It would not surprise me if the U.S. was releasing war propaganda like that, but it also strikes me as something that could be as apt to be faked as real. So let's take a look at this, which does look like a real video and not AI. So there's just a giant column of smoke rising from a dense fire. Once again, it looks like they're driving by the airport. So this airport was a major target of theirs, which makes sense whenever you're getting ready to invade a country, as we most assuredly are in the case of Venezuela. You want to make sure that you attack their major ports and their major ports of entry and exit and things like that, so that you can prevent people from leaving and prevent them from defending themselves. So now we're getting another angle on this one, which I think we've seen once before, but this is another angle on it. We've seen damage already. Just once again, columns of smoke rising. Keep in mind, it was 2 in the morning local time when this all started. If you're new to the stream, if you've been watching for a while or whatever, if you haven't been watching for a while, I mean, the United States is currently bombing Venezuela. We are currently engaged in a campaign of terrorist violence against them. According to some people, we're trying to hunt down their terrorist leader, Nicolas Maduro. But if you ask me, we're sending way too many Apache helicopters to Venezuela for us to be hunting some old terrorist leader, some wily old fucking... We're literally trying to frame Maduro like he's basically Ayman al-Zawahiri, and he's not. He's literally a competent leader of a developed country that we are currently bombing the shit out of like it's Iraq or something. And people are not going to support this. Like, there is not... Like, Venezuela didn't bomb any of our vessels. Venezuela didn't destroy any of our buildings. Venezuela didn't kill a single American. So this is not going to sell the same way to the American people that previous conflicts have. I agree with that veteran who was just talking a few minutes ago so wholeheartedly. Let's see what this video says. or shows. So these look like more random fucking strikes. Like I'm sure they're on some kind of target. But this is just neighborhoods and shit. Alrighty, let's see what else we got here. I better check chat actually real quick. See if there's been any super chats or anything like that. Mods, have I missed any super chats? Have I missed any funding drives or anything like that? I did miss one super chat. Let me see here. So this is where the $2,000 Doge check went towards? I guess so, Autumn. I guess that $2,000 that we all thought we were going to get at one point when President Trump was holding it over our heads, I guess this is what it actually had to be spent on instead. The Department of Government Efficiency, and look what the government has found efficiency for. This is what our our well-lauded efficiency. This is what it goes towards. This is what it actually means. We are Luigi Mangione. Now that's one I can get behind. We are Luigi Mangione, my friend. We are. I like how when Russia does it, big bad, but when the U.S. does it, meh. Yeah, if Russia did this exact same tactic on some kind of city in Ukraine, and it has, I'm sure, done tactics like this on Ukraine, especially in the earlier stages of the war when they had more equipment and when Ukraine was less prepared, it's horrible, awful, evil, nightmare shit. But when we do it to Venezuela, oh, it's okay. It's fine. We're allowed. We're the fucking global hegemon, so we can just do whatever the fuck we want, right? Oh my god, dude. Fucking hell. The MAGA cult will use the boats as a pretense to be okay with it. It's sickening. Yeah, it is really disgusting. They can build 10,000 ships. They will still run away from Yemenis and sandals. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, guys? What is going on here? What are you guys going on about? Am I at least smoking weed, Phoebe? Yeah, Casey. Everyone doesn't agree with me as a robot? Yes. Unironically, yes. If you don't agree with me, you are an NPC, and you are a robot, and you do not have a mind of your own. Because if you had a mind of your own, you would clearly agree with me. I don't see any Venezuelan flags on faggots homes and shit. So yeah, like, I'm a faggot. I don't have any Venezuelan flags. You know, like, what am I doing? Supporting the Venezuelan cause? No, I don't know. I don't even know what chat is really talking about at this point. I'm just kind of responding as I read things. Oh, your mom? No, it was a joke. I'm a transgender woman and I'm bisexual. So, and I have a pride flag behind me. You probably can't tell. But I am anti-language policing, so I'll call myself a faggot. I'll use faggot in a way that's like, I try and reclaim it. I refuse to allow homophobes to think that they own the word faggot and can use it to hurt my feelings and the feelings of other gay people, you know? And I just feel like if lesbians can take dyke back and call another girl a dyke and it be a good thing, then why can't I call, like, a gay person a faggot and mean it in an endearing way? Thank you, Pink Fur. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to send a super chat if you want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered, or consider sending a Cash App donation, which is through my channel description. You can find it there. Either way is much appreciated. Either way helps the channel stay afloat. And you guys, like, this is an audience-supported channel. You guys are what gives me so much fucking time to be able to do this. You guys are what give me such intense motivation to do this. So ultimately, if you want to support this kind of shit, that is the best way you can do it. You can say the F word if you're gay. Yeah, I mean, you definitely get away with it a little bit easier if you are, for sure, for sure. Indian people need love too. Hey, dude, I 100% agree. I've got Indian ancestry, not Native American ancestry, Indian ancestry. Not very much, but I've got like 1% of ancestry that's non-white, and it's pretty much evenly divided between Persians and Indians, and then Angolan and Congolese. That took a turn. Did it? I feel like it was pretty predictable. I don't know. I feel like things have been going right along here. By the way, thank you guys for watching as long as you have. You guys have been a really amazing audience tonight. For the most part, you guys have been pretty supportive. I don't know exactly how much we've made tonight in terms of super chat revenue. But I appreciate y'all. Does the chat have anything else to say before I resume my coverage for a minute? I'm not going to go for too long, but yeah, I remember everyone having a Ukrainian flag on every home 4 years ago. Why no Venezuelan flags? I guess people only support what they are told to support. Well, I think the reason why there's no Venezuelan flags is because there's been a chilling effect on American leftist political discourse, because people have seen the kind of shit that people have seen the kind of police response the protesters are getting in the UK. They've seen the type of police response the protesters are getting in Berlin and Germany broadly. They've seen the kind of police response the protests have been garnering in Israel and Palestine. And I think people rightly fear making their voices heard at a time like this, when they see, like sometimes even here in America, protesters will get hauled off in white vans unmarked in any way by cops in riot gear. I think it's a pretty dangerous place right now to be a leftist. People certainly feel culturally empowered to do vandalism against leftism, or against leftists and leftist kind of symbols and shit in a way that they wouldn't normally. Like if your neighbor had a leftist yard sign 10 years ago, it might have gotten vandalized, but now it's almost certain to get vandalized. So I think there's probably a lot less people willing to ally themselves with Venezuela, because anything that the Trump administration likes, you can't be too openly anti that in certain neighborhoods without getting in trouble, in a way that we're not, like, we get more fucking divided and more politicized every year. And 4 years ago we just weren't as politicized, at least not on the Ukrainian issue. And plus, Biden was in office, and honestly, that's one good thing you can say about Democrats, is that they tend to have a bit of a cooling effect on the rhetoric of people. I'm not seeing any information about boots on the ground. Well, thank you for the correction, Matt Blank. I haven't seen any information about it either. I've been careful to say that it's been like, we've heard reports, but we haven't necessarily confirmed that. And remember, there has never been a place for violence in this nation's politics ever. Not once in history, and never to happen ever. I agree. People use flags to show solidarity, and no doubt people will put up some Venezuela flags after too long, probably after this event. Look for them to go up after this very event. In fact, put up a Venezuelan flag if you can find one. Order you one on Amazon, get you a Venezuelan flag, and put that bitch up. Let people know. Let fucking Trump's little toadies that exist in all the little small towns in America know that you don't support his illegal fucking war against Venezuela, that he is waging for oil profits, and he is waging for mineral rights. The 1% can't make enough money on renewable energy, so we need more oil. I don't give a shit what the 1% can make money on or can't make money on, but I think you're right. I don't think it should matter that that's the case, but I do think you're right. I think that they have not figured out a way to get as much money as they want. Really, that's not even the problem. There is not a dollar amount that they could extract out of renewables that would make it worth it in their mind to stop exploring oil. In their mind, they are going to use oil until they are out of oil. They do not intend to ever give it up willingly. They do not intend to let us just get to a point where we're extracting it at a rate at which it's replenishing. Which, if we converted enough things to electricity, we were only using oil for the most limited of fuel purposes, and all the rest of it was being used as lubricant and shit like that. Like, if we needed way less oil, if we used way less oil, then fucking hey presto, we wouldn't need to pull as much out. Right now, we use it as a fuel source for so fucking many things, too. Like, coal oil, for example, is, like, there's, like, a variety of oil that is like not that refined, that is used for heavy fuel oil is what it's called. That's used for shipping tankers, like um, these big shipping vessels that sail across the ocean carrying like multiple hundreds of thousands of tons of corn or whatever. Like those big ocean liners, I don't know what you call them, but those big ships run on heavy fuel oil that is just like a direct petroleum product, not very heavily refined, and it just like when you've got giant pieces of your economy that run on this substance that you have to burn up in the process of using it, then like you're gonna run out of it eventually. There's no way like using it in the way we do right now that it can replenish at the rate that we take it. So we've got to find some other way to power these big ships. We've got to find some other way to power these big industrial machines. Honestly, there's some companies that are working on it. I heard about Caterpillar's got one that Caterpillar just came out with it, not just, but like last year I think came out with this one of the like these big giant dump trucks that you need like 7 steps of stairs to get up into the cab of, that's fully electric. Fully fucking electric. Now, I don't know how the fuck you charge a thing like that. I can't imagine that that's easy. But then again, there are electric appliances that draw insane, incredible, absurd amounts of energy through the power grid. And, you know, if a customer is properly equipped and made, you know, like if they invest enough into the infrastructure to get that kind of connection, they very well might be able to have some kind of custom charging setup that's able to get that fucker to back to operable status in 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. I didn't read much about it, but I know that it's out there. Nuclear car, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, nuclear is not a good idea. Honestly, we need to get away from the idea of cars, but nuclear is not a good idea for powering individual devices at all. I think nuclear should be something that you build outside the city, where if there is some kind of big explosion or meltdown, it's far away from human beings that could get hurt by it. And I think that that power should be exported to the city and used. Like if you're going to have cars, like they need to be electric, honestly. But if they're not going to be electric, they need to be set up to be flex fuel and to be able to run on ethanol. And once they're able to run on ethanol or on biodiesel, then either way, all right, you're set up for a sustainable future. I'm not against ICE engines. I'm against the idea that gasoline and diesel derived from petroleum are the way forward as fuels. They're not. They simply are not. We cannot manufacture them. We have to fucking dig them up out of the ground and then manufacture them. Whereas we can control the entire fucking process of production for biogas and biodiesel. Solar is a great source of energy, but the problem is not production, but rather storage. Dum-dums thing, solar is because clouds. Okay, so yeah, the storage problem is a big problem of a lot of renewables, by the way. It's not just solar. Storage is a huge problem for the electric grid in general, and it's one of the reasons why coal power plants are kind of sticking around despite all the environmental regulations made against them. And it's because they are able to fulfill a very necessary niche within the they're able to fulfill a very specific niche within the economy of a power grid, which is that you need to be able to scale up or down your power production at any time because your load is going to change throughout the day. Your load is going to change throughout the day, and as things get later, or like later into the night, your load is going to kind of drop off, and earlier in the day, obviously, your load's going to be way higher. Like there's certain peaks and valleys throughout the day and night, and you have to scale up and down your production to accommodate that. If you're on hydropower, your production can only be scaled up to such a degree, which is true of everything. There's always an upper limit and a lower limit. I guess that's not that notable, but like you've got a pretty narrow limit of how much power you can get out of a hydro plant. Like you can increase the head, I guess, like the head distance, like you can increase the distance of the top of the water line from the top of the inlet to the turbines, but it's not really going to add that much, because like there's still a constricted path that the water all has to go through to get there, you know? So like you can only scale it up so far. There's pretty narrow band of production that's going to come out of a hydro plant. It's designed to operate under those certain circumstances. If it's at full production, like, yeah, you can turn it down, but you can't scale up a hydro plant the way you can have a coal plant that's designed in theory to operate at half capacity during like most of the day, but that can crank up to 75% during peak, or can crank up to 95% if you've got a real crazy peak. How long do you think it'll be before Colombia responds? It might be tonight, legitimately. Another problem is monopolies on power production. That is 100% true as well. There are definitely monopolies on power production. Colombia responded. They want an immediate UN meeting over the blast. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna the UN is gonna have to come together over this shit, because like this is just the America going AWOL, going off on its own fucking bullshit and doing crazy shit without the authorization of any goddamn buddy. What had happened? So the United States has basically illegally invaded Venezuela full on. We have helicopters in their airspace. We have had multiple different kinds of helicopters in their airspace. There have been limited reports. I haven't been able to confirm them, but I have heard people talking about it, that there may be boots on the ground, that there may have been boats landing on the beaches. Um, uh, we know there have been airstrikes. So basically, Venezuela got attacked by the United States at 2 in the morning. The UN is basically just a sham. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but the UN is largely American controlled, and that makes it kind of a sham when you're trying to expect them to act in a way that would limit America's power. They're not really keen on doing that because they're mostly an American project. Once again, consider sending a super chat if you want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered. I do read every single one as long as it doesn't violate TOS. And if you're new to the stream, the United States is currently engaging in an illegal war with Venezuela. This is not the same as everything else you've been hearing over the past couple of weeks. This is new. This is updated. This is fresh. The U.S. started sending helicopters of multiple different kinds and airstrikes and everything else. There have been Air Force assets, according to Reuters, and possibly ground forces as well. Involved in Venezuela since 2 a.m. local time this morning. Crazy shit, wild shit. Can't believe it's happening. I mean, I can. I just didn't think this escalation was going to come quite this quick. Yeah, we heard people cheering when the strikes hit while at a bar. Phoebe, Fox are saying people are celebrating their freedom now in Venezuela right now. Huh? We heard people cheering when the strikes hit while at a... Do what? Man, you guys don't want this shit. I'm telling you guys you don't want this shit, man. Whatever, dude. Whatever, man. I hope the fucking American government treats you guys fucking perfect like they do every other right-wing shithole. Because that's what they're going to make you, by the way. Yeah, man. You think you're getting freedom. That's not what America brings. I'm sorry. I'm an American. My country does not come bringing freedom. That screech of the eagle that you think you hear is not the screech of incoming freedom. It's the screech of incoming dicks up your ass. It's the screech of missiles. Hear it for what it is. Hear it for what it is, not for what you want it to be. Do you think Mexico will get involved? Probably not. Mexico's got too good a relationship with the United States, and Mexico's got too much PR to make up for when it comes to their shit, but maybe Maybe. I don't think so. I think that I think that they're trying to repair their image with the United States. And I think that they're trying to look like a more sane and rational country on the global stage, which I think will prevent them from feeling like they are in a position to act in that way. I think we should honestly look for a response from some countries we aren't really expecting it from. I wouldn't be surprised if some Western countries decide to respond, not necessarily militarily, but with some kind of sanctions against us or some kind of ruling against us or something. I appreciate your left opinion, Phoebe. Well, I can only provide my opinion, and my opinion tends to be pretty left, so it is what it is, you know? Some people hate it, some people like it, but at least I'm not bullshitting you about what position I'm on. At least I'm not saying, no, I'm not on the left, I'm just unbiased. No, I'm biased as shit. I think rich people is evil. I think Donald Trump is evil. I think invading Venezuela is evil. I think us invading other countries in general is pretty fucked up and evil. I'm biased as shit. Hell, I won't hardly find a motherfucker less biased or more biased than I am. Hell yeah, I'm biased. It's not to say I'm not open-minded. I could be convinced that America can be a place of good and kindness and compassion. I'm just waiting for that to be borne out. I'm just waiting for the people to vote that in. What's your definition of rich? Because to many, you are rich. My definition of rich would be like ownership class. Like my family happens to own some land that eventually I'll own, eventually my son will own, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like 2 acres, you know, and it's shitty land, really shitty land. If we sold it, it'd be worth, even in today's fucking seller's marketplace, we'd be lucky if we got 30 grand out of the patch of land we got here. It's worthless. Worthless. It's dog shit. But, you know, I understand that that's rich to maybe somebody who's living in like a third world country that is starving and shit. Obviously, I don't. But like my thing is, I'm not in that person's position. I want their position to get better, but I like you realize that America doesn't like. I can't just, even if I wanted to, which I don't, but even if I did really want to abandon everything about my life and go help out some starving African child or whatever, not to be racist, but that's what you hear, you know? Even if I wanted to do that, America's not just going to let me like fly out of here for free. So I'm going to have some money to do that, which means I'm going to have to save up for a while and have that on the ready, you know? Just like the Soviet Union, known to be full of kindness and compassion. What are you talking about? Why bother answering disingenuous questions? You got a point, Margot. I don't know. Like, genuinely. Like, you think I'm rich? Okay. I don't know how, but if you consider me rich, then whatever. I don't know, man. I'm not. When I talk about rich, I'm talking about rich by, I think, the common person's definition here in America, because I'm mostly talking about the political situation in America. The whole reason I'm covering this big bombing in Venezuela is because I believe that my country is responsible for it. Okay, my country is America, so I got to talk about American problems, American shit, America, America, patriot, America, America. And according to the standards of America, I'm broke as fuck. I barely make anything. I mean, I pay all my bills with YouTube, and I am definitely privileged there, but I'm privileged in terms of the ability, I'm privileged in terms of my having, had the opportunity to build up a channel here on YouTube. And like, yeah, I've worked for it, everything. I'm not trying to discredit myself, but there's like a degree of luck there involved, and obviously there's a degree of privilege of not having to work a manual labor job. I don't have to. I don't have to slang tacos anymore. I worked at Taco Bell for 2 years and then at a factory for 4 months before I did this. Before I started getting monetized on YouTube and started doing that full time. So I feel really privileged because of that. But in terms of being rich, like you can have a pretty easy job but still be pretty fucking poor, and that's kind of my situation. Now that's why I'm trying to spend so much more time streaming. That's why I hopped right on this news story when it started happening, and why I've been talking to you guys for 2 hours, despite the fact that I'm really tired, hungry, and my throat is all fucking dry and shit. Is because ultimately I want to put my fucking name and face in people's minds. I want people to think of my channel. I want to get bigger. I have a vision for what I want to do, because I think that this might be my dream job, or something like it. Might be one of my two kind of dream jobs that I want to do before I die. And I'm pretty much doing it. And there are billions of people that would love to do this shit. And I definitely remain cognizant of that. But I'm not rich, Like, I'm not anywhere near the top echelon of people who make money on YouTube. I'm at the bottom of that fucking tier. Literally at the bottom, bottom, bottom. Bottom, bottom, bottom. I made $950 after YouTube's cut in December. Or no, actually, I would have made that in November. That's what I got paid in December. But, point is, I'm not rich by pretty much anybody's definition. If you have a roof over your head, a bed to sleep in, food in your belly, a family, you're more rich than you think. Yeah, see, I just don't buy the shit. I feel like this is slave mentality garbage. This is the mentality of a human being who has accustomed themselves to very little and who has gotten themselves used to the idea that a Spartan life is what's worth defending, and that really that's all that's necessary. And that if you want any more than that, then you're just interested in keeping up with the Joneses, and you're just a materialist. Well, the fact of it is, I'm sorry, but some people are very satisfied with very little. Most people are not. Most people are more, I don't know, like, we're kind of a chimp-like species. I don't know how else to put it. We like flashy colors. We like pretty packages. We like yummy, sugary foods. We like yummy, salty foods. We like greasy, fatty foods. We like a whole bunch of things that are deleterious to our health and not good for us. And I can't really fucking help that, frankly. And neither can most people. Like, most people cannot help the fact that they're into that they want that kind of thing, So I think that, like, no, having those things should just be the basic mentality. Like, having those things should just be where society puts you on a baseline. You've got a roof over your head. You've got clean water to drink. You've got the ability to go from place to place in the place you live. That, to me, is just basic human rights. And yes, I think people should be grateful for that, but I think that they should be grateful for it so that they know why they should defend it, not grateful for it so that they don't ask for anything more. You should always ask for more. What did Venezuela do this time? Venezuela didn't do dog shit. The United States decided to attack Venezuela at 2 a.m. local time for no reason at all, as far as we can tell. I'm sure the reason that'll be cited is drug operations. We're trying to get to Little Maduro and his cartel, Tren de Aragua. We're trying to get to them. But Venezuela is not a producer of drugs. They are not a major exporter of drugs. In fact, Colombia sends way more drugs over to the United States than Venezuela does. Way, 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 way more. And Trump pardoned a fucking Argentinian drug dealer not that long ago. So it's clearly not about drugs. Clearly it's about oil. Clearly it's about mineral resources. But people don't want to admit that because it would involve admitting that they are engaged in a conflict for which there is no defense. Rich is having more than you need? I don't agree. I don't agree at all. I disagree completely. Because what human needs are so basic. A prisoner has what they need. By that definition, anybody who's not a prisoner is rich. And that's just retarded. That's a stupid definition. Rich, in my mind, is someone who has enough money to lord it over other people. I am rich. Kenny, you really are rich because you just like sent me $65 out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. You asked if I was going to do a New Year's stream, and I was like, nah, I didn't get any Cash App donos, and I'm too broke to fucking, the holidays wipe me out, so I'm too broke to buy holiday booze. It just feels weird to do a holiday stream, like a New Year's Eve stream without any New Year's Eve booze. So fuck it, I ain't worried about it. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then I saw a Cash App notification from Kenny. I was like, sweet, okay, cool. So you might actually be calling me out. Well, you're a generous sod. You sent me a Discord message. Would you like to react to this? It's not live yet. Let me see. Let me see here. Let's see here. Okay, I saw your message, Matt, and I might react to that. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up, actually. Over here. I might not be able to do it. Only one like away from 69. That is true. All right, let's see if it'll let us watch. Will it let us check it out? Will it let us hold on. Let's see here. Can I? Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt. It won't let me do it. It won't let me switch the app that I'm covering. Unfortunately, it will not let me switch the app that I'm covering. Nice. I am interested. I just, it won't let me cover it. It won't let me fucking switch over, unfortunately. But that is wild. Anyway, you know what? We're gonna finish off this bowl, and then I'm gonna get out of here. And you guys can go watch fucking Frey's video if you want to, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish out this bowl, and then we're gonna get out of here. I don't know if we'll do one last check back before we go and see if any other developments have happened. But if you guys have enjoyed this stream and you've got the extra fucking scratch, consider supporting the channel because I really do fucking like this is a completely audience funded channel and I'm trying to make it, and every single one of those helps so much. I can't even tell you. So your efforts do not go unappreciated. Just know that no matter how much you throw at the channel, I fucking appreciate it. Thank you, Autumn. Supported. Thank you for the $2. That was very kind of you. If anybody else wants to send a super chat, consider sending one. Thank you so much. You know I fucking appreciate it. Thank you. I've had 5 bowls and only one of them was cereal. Nice, Riley. I think I'm gonna have a bowl of cereal when I get inside, actually. That sounds really good. Like, legitimately delicious. That sounds legitimately delicious. Hell yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Well, Eric, Grant, and Jensen were activists. It's loaded with theory. Their hearts are filled with passion, share the same left-wing politics. Like the same music, they were part of the protest movement. Well, Lena fancied herself a feminist. Studied the way they talked and dressed, fancied herself an anarchist. Eric fell in love with Anna, had a meeting on a crime thing conference, didn't know it, but Anna was an FBI informant. Eric fell in love with an FBI informant, shared his dreams of revolution. Now he's sitting in solitary confinement. Be careful what you think. Be careful what you say. Might be used against you in court one day. Well, Anna thinks she's a hawk. She's just a fucking snitch. Dun 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 dun. Black Suburbans and AR-15 rifles. Agents made the arrest in a Kmart parking lot, caught with supplies for the bombs in hand. They were charged with conspiracy against the government. Well, Anna had the car, Anna paid the rent, Anna helped find the recipe to make the explosives. She encouraged her friends to go through with the plans. They didn't know it, but Anna was an FBI informant. Eric fell in love with an FBI informant, shared his dreams of revolution. Now he's sitting in solitary confinement. Be careful what you think, be careful what you say, might be used against you in court one day. Well, Lena thinks she's a hawk, she's just a fucking snitch. Dun 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 dun. Setting the stage. Yep, 100%. More files. One time, my grandma gave me a box of Honey Bunches of Oats, and I ate 2 bowls before I noticed it had little worms in it, but I don't like drinking. Oh my god, that's so gross, Harper. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Yeah, you haven't been a cereal fan since then, and I can't say that I blame you. That is entirely an understandable reaction to finding little worms in your cereal. I don't like drinking too much because it almost always gives me a headache. Oh, man. That sucks. Did you get a headache after the meetup, Kenny? Because I don't remember, like, here's the thing. I did not get a headache after the meetup. Either after or after the next morning or anything. I was really good. I was a good girl. But no, seriously, I drank lots of water. Like, literally every single time someone would get me a drink, I would drink up that motherfucker and then be like, someone would ask me, what I wanted to drink next, and I'd be like, a water actually would be great. And like, oh, you're gonna switch to water? And I'd be like, no, I just want to have one for. I mean, if you want to get me an alcoholic drink, just get me a water and alcohol, And they're like, oh, well, then what do you want? And I'd be like, oh, well, surprise me. I must have hit so many people with the surprise me at that meetup because I'm just bad at making decisions, and I know that that's a way that makes you sound confident. A woman that says surprise me when you ask her for a drink is a woman that'll try anything, I had a psychotic episode though, just personal problems. Oh Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Kenny. I didn't even know. Well, you were lovely at the meetup, and I hope you had a good time. Him and his wife were captured? Hold on, what? Hold on, I gotta get back over to X if that's true. Let's get over here. Let's check over the fucking coverage again. Let's just make sure. Let's see what's going on. Latest. That is the same thing we've been seeing all night. Another picture that's been going on. Let's see here. United States appears to have been bombing. Yeah. That's what. Yes. What? Holy shit. Holy shit. President Trump says Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been captured and flown out of Venezuela. We've got a huge update, guys. Holy shit. I need to get more, I need to get evidence of this. This needs, oh my God. They have the blue check mark, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. I don't know who the fuck this is. Who the fuck? Oh no, dude. Ah, no. Okay. Let's see here. CBS reports U.S. officials say strikes were ordered by President Trump. So there's to all the people that were saying I was fucking jumping the gun by saying this was by the United States. Fucking, I knew it. I knew this was by the United States. Literally, the minute I saw those Chinook helicopters 2.5 hours ago, the second I saw that, I was like, the U.S. is bombing Venezuela. Literally, I fucking dropped my phone and knocked over my heater because I scrambled so quickly to get everything ready to stream because I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. We are at war with Venezuela at this point. This is proof. Oh my God. Okay. Holy shit. This is big. This is big. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. That is as good as confirmation. Holy fucking shit. I don't think he could lie about this, right? Like if Maduro was not like it, oh my God. So what about the thing I saw earlier about Maduro just being alive and well? He was perfectly fine. Like, did he give an address or something? Like what? Oh my God, dude. Okay. So so we've seen two different things right now that are kind of contradicting one another, right? So we've got Nicolas Maduro himself saying like, no, I'm fucking fine, I'm good, and I'm alive and well, and basically declaring an external state of emergency. But now we've got President Trump saying he's been flown out of the country. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is imperialism 100%, right? In the fucking Twitter feed that I'm seeing here. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. I want to read more about this. We need to know exactly what is going on. Oh, this is great. Yep. Let me see here. Arrest of the Venezuelan president and his wife in less than 2 hours. The war on Venezuela ends and the president is arrested. The fastest war in history. This is not like, dude, this is not going to be the end of the fucking conflict, dude. There's going to be so many insurgent groups in Venezuela, and I guarantee you political repression is going to become just as fun. Why do people think this is going to be an improvement? Dude, it has to happen to another group of people, for yet another fucking group of people to learn the lesson that United States imperialism does not bring love and democracy. It brings war, it brings death, it brings political repression, even worse than that which you were experiencing before. I mean, those people at the bar looked like they were fucking having a good time to me. I don't know. Like, I guess there probably is, I know that for a fact that there is political repression in Venezuela, but I don't know why people think it's going to stop with the invasion of the United States. That is Jesus. This is just, I mean, it's fucking happened. All right, though. Venezuela claims that the objective of the U.S. attack is to, yeah, I already read about that. Yeah, so, I mean, that's just crazy. That's just crazy, you guys. I don't know, man. Just think about it. All the people that learned are either dead, did not learn, or are too stupid to realize it's the same lesson. They're not going to learn it. They're not going to figure it out. They're never going to figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go, you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for hanging out on the stream. And think about it, all the people that, oh, I already read that, yeah. But thank you guys for hanging out. I think 2026 is going to be rough. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I guess to take a couple more hits from the bull, but I want you guys to know we're about to be heading out. We're about to be going. We're about to be leaving. But thank you guys for liking the stream, hanging out with us, spending so much time over here and everything else, liking, supporting, and all that shit. Have a good night. Thanks for reporting, of course. You guys have a great night. I appreciate you guys.